Hi, welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to be participating in a $10 Thrift Flip March 2020 challenge hosted by Thrift Queen. And I'm going to leave her link to her channel down below in the description box along with the playlist so you can watch what everybody is doing and all the unique items that people are thrifting for this challenge. Now let's get started and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I purchased this bowl. At the time that I purchased it, I didn't even know what this bowl was. Since then, I have found out from a really sweet person who commented on one of my thrift hauls where I was showing this bowl that this is actually a nut bowl. And I had wondered if that was what it was, but I wasn't sure. And so I was really happy to find that out, that this is actually a nut bowl. So I'm just going to clean it all up here, and you can see in that center stem part that right there in the middle, that is actually where the picks or the nutcracker would all fit in that little center section right there. Now what I'm doing is I took 150 grit sandpaper and I'm just sanding this down, getting the sheen off from this bowl, because I'm not really crazy about this orangey color that is currently on the bowl. And so I just want to sand this down real good, and then we're going to go ahead and paint it. Now, one of the reasons that I was drawn to this bowl is I really love the texture of it. Now you can see it's quite messy, so I probably shouldn't have been doing this right next to my computer, but nothing happened, so I'm okay that way. Next time I should probably do this outside in the garage though. Now I've got it all cleaned up, and what I'm going to do is I'm just taking some of this Apple Barrel black matte paint, and I'm going to mix that black paint with some of this Deco Art Americana light cinnamon paint. And I'm just mixing the two together because I kind of wanted a really dark brown. And so that is what I was able to achieve here. And now I'm just going to take that dark brown and I'm going to go ahead and paint this entire bowl, and making sure that I get down deep into all those cracks and crevices of all the bark. Just like that. And I'm doing everywhere on the bowl, as I said, the bottom, the inside, I'm doing everything except that very bottom part where that's a really worn piece of felt. And so I probably need to replace that piece of felt. But other than right there at the very bottom, I painted everything this dark brown. And I know you're probably looking at it now going, that looks horrible. I know it looks like I just pulled it out of the bonfire. But I'm going to take this Apple Barrel antique parchment, and it's kind of an off-white color, and I'm going to go over the top of all that dark brown. I thought I was going to really love this dark coming through, and I probably would have. My original intention was to go ahead and sand part of this white off after I got it on, but I found that the bark portion of the bowl was just a little too delicate to be taking a whole lot of sanding. I had to be very careful before when I was sanding it. So instead, I'm using this raw umber, which is from Master's Touch acrylic paint. And I'm just going to kind of dry brush on this. Now that very first swipe, I got a little too much paint on there, but that's fine. I just went and retouched that up with a little bit more of that antique parchment white on top of that to get rid of that. But otherwise, I'm just kind of dry brushing some of this raw umber color onto here. I just want to dirty it up. The white color was a little too white. That dark brown was too dark brown. So I just want something that I wanted it bright and white, but I also wanted it weathered looking. And that's what this gave me. So you can see I just have a little bit of that paint right in the middle, and I'm barely even touching it with my brush. And then I'm dabbing off most of it onto the edge of the paper plate right there. And I'm just lightly going around and just kind of dry brushing that on to dirty the bowl up a little bit. Just like that. Now, you don't have to do the inside like what I'm doing right here. I just thought, at some point I may decide to change the way that I'm going to use the bowl from what I'm going to use it today. And if I do, then I may want to have the inside of the bowl painted. So I just decided to go ahead and paint it all right now, the bottom and everything. And I'm liking this so much better now with the dry brush on it. That's kind of given it that look that I was looking for. It's not quite so stark and bright white as what the white was alone, and yet it's not that really dark like I just burnt it in the fire look that the dark brown was by itself. So this is what it looks like up close. That's a little bit more natural looking, and I really like that. Now what I have here are one of these floral blocks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to cut this in half, and then I'm going to break that apart and cut each of the halves in half again, go in the opposite direction, and we're going to go ahead and fill in the inside of our bowl with some of this floral foam. And this is the type of foam that you would want to use for this because this is a little bit softer foam. So it can be pushed down and kind of conform right around that center portion where the nutcracker would normally go. Where if you try and use harder foam, you can get it to work, but it's not going to form around there quite as easily. And this is just a lot better foam for doing that. Now, I just cut this foam up even into some of the smaller pieces to fit into the little nooks and crannies where they're a little big and didn't have foam. And you can see right here how it looks. Now you don't have to worry about getting every little tiny piece covered in foam, just as long as you have foam in the majority of it. Now next I have this bush of peonies that I picked up at Walmart. And this is just one of their 97-cent bushes. And so I'm going to cut the flowers off from here, just like this. And this is going to look so pretty in our bowl. I absolutely love these flowers, that light kind of buttery yellow look that just screams spring to me. And now with the color of our bowl, I think they just look fabulous together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to evenly space around the bowl 4 of these peonies. And you can see I'm just bending the tip of the peony forward just a touch, just so that it will kind of lean a little bit over the front of the bowl. And you can see I'm bending it there, and then I'm just going to poke it in. Good. I'm liking that. I think these are going to look great in there. And now I'm just going to set this aside 1 second and grab some of these lilacs. I purchased these at the Dollar Tree, and these are the white lilacs. I'm going to just push up all the leaves to the top before I go ahead and cut off all the stems. Next, we have this bush of hydrangeas that I also purchased at the Dollar Tree. And I'm doing the same thing that I did with the lilacs. I pushed all the leaves up towards the flowers, and now I'm just going and cutting each one of the stems off individually. And now I'm going to fluff these hydrangeas up, and I'm going to place one of these hydrangeas in between each of our peonies. And I absolutely am loving these hydrangeas. I've bought so many of them at the Dollar Tree this year. I'm loving this color. This is my main color for spring this year. I'm using these hydrangeas in so many of my different projects. So if you guys are trying to go to Dollar Tree and you can't find any of the hydrangeas, it may be because I've bought them all. I'm just absolutely loving this color. This is my spring go-to color this year. And again, I'm just pushing those leaves all the way up towards the flowers and then bending the heads of those flowers just a little bit so that they'll kind of lean over the front edge of our bowl just a hair. And you just want to make sure that everything is nice and full while going around your bowl. Now you don't need it so full that they're all crammed together. You just want them just full enough that you're not going to have a bunch of big hole spots. When you look at it, you don't want to be able to see right through to the inside of the bowl. And now we're going to take these last peonies that we didn't use in the beginning and we're going to put those in. Oops, this one's just a tad too long. So we're going to go ahead and cut that one down just a little bit more. And it's always the best to start out having them a little bit longer because you can always cut more off, but you can't add more to it. Now that is starting to look really pretty. I'm loving the colors. Now we're going to take these lilacs and again, we're going to kind of tilt it just a little bit so that it will lean a little bit towards the front. Oops, we had one more of these peonies and I don't want to miss any of these. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that right there. That is looking great. I'm loving the peonies with the hydrangea. Now with these lilacs, I'm going to start inserting these and these are going to go all the way around that little center part where the nutcracker would normally go in. We are going to insert these lilacs all the way around there. And this is going to really add that extra pop to our floral arrangement because I love that these lilacs are light and airy at the top and they stick up just enough to give it that little bit of a whimsy look to it. I'm absolutely loving these in our floral arrangement. And I think one more right there, and I think that is going to do it. That gives us a little bit of height to the center of our arrangement there. That is looking so pretty. It looks so spring to me. And now, the reason I went thrifting earlier this week is to get one of these. I wanted a votive cup specifically for this project. And I thought maybe I could fit a votive cup down into where the nutcracker would originally sit. And it fit perfect. All I did was then add in one of the Dollar Tree little flameless candles in there. And look how pretty this is looking on one of my side tables in my living room. You can see the little tea light in there flickering. It is just looking gorgeous. I absolutely love this. I just did a challenge where I used some of these same hydrangeas for my coffee table, which is right next to this. So if you'd like to see that video, I'll leave a link up above in the card. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I'd really appreciate it if you'd give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thanks so much for watching.